Hello, Virgo. You're standing at the edge of transformation, so complete that your current self literally can't comprehend what you're about to become, can you? Not incremental improvement, but total metamorphosis, where both your physical presence and your financial reality are about to shift so dramatically that people who know you now won't recognize the version of you emerging 6 months from now. And the wildest part is you're completely unaware of the magnitude of what's building because you're still operating from old self concept while new reality is already assembling itself around you. Let me reveal what's igniting in the dual transformation frequencies surrounding your existence right now. The absolute first thing detonating beneath your conscious awareness is your attractiveness is about to explode in ways that have nothing to do with your actual face or body changing. You're probably going to experience yourself becoming magnetic through pure energy shift confidence that comes from knowing you're winning, radiating from you like heat. Self possession that makes people want to be near you. Presence that commands attention when you enter rooms. You might be about to discover that hotness isn't primarily physical. It's energetic, it's how you carry yourself, it's the certainty you project about your own value. And as your financial situation transforms, your entire bearing is going to shift in ways that make you objectively more attractive, even if your features stay exactly the same. Here's the extraordinary reality you haven't grasped yet. Money and attractiveness are about to amplify each other exponentially. You're probably going to experience wealth giving you resources to optimize your appearance personal trainer, better skincare, clothes that actually fit, hairstylist who knows what they're doing, teeth whitening, whatever physical upgrades you've been postponing because you couldn't justify the expense. And simultaneously, your increased confidence from financial success is going to make you carry yourself differently. You might be about to enter feedback loop where looking better makes you feel more confident, which makes you take bigger risks, which makes you more money, which gives you more resources to invest in yourself. And that upward spiral is what creates the dramatic transformation you can't see coming because you're still thinking in terms of linear improvement rather than exponential acceleration. What's building in the prosperity magnetism zones is financial breakthrough that's going to completely recontextualize your relationship with money. You're probably going to experience shift from constant scarcity thinking to actual abundance, not having to check your account before purchases, being able to say yes to opportunities without calculating cost, having investment capital that generates passive income. And that psychological freedom is going to affect everything about how you show up in world. You might be about to discover what it feels like to move through life without financial anxiety as constant background hum. And the version of you that emerges when money is handled is going to be so much more vibrant, creative, generous, and attractive than the version of you that's been operating in survival mode. This reflection invites you to consider what aspects of your personality are currently suppressed by financial stress, and whether you even know who you are when you're not worried about money, or whether you're about to meet entirely new version of yourself that's been waiting for resources to allow it to emerge. You're probably going to experience people treating you completely differently. You might be about to discover what it's like to be pursued rather than pursuing romantically, professionally, socially, where opportunities come to you instead of you chasing them, where people want access to you, where your time and attention become valuable commodities that others compete for. You could be approaching total reversal of current dynamics where right now you're probably working hard to get people to notice you, to take you seriously, to give you chances. And soon you're going to be in position of choosing among multiple options in every domain, while people who ignored you before suddenly find you fascinating. What's also igniting is physical transformation that's going to happen almost automatically once money flows. You're probably going to experience yourself naturally upgrading everything, joining better gym, and actually using it because you can afford trainers who push you, eating higher quality food because you can afford organic and fresh, getting regular massages and body work because you can afford recovery, sleeping better because you're not stressed about bills, aging in reverse because chronic stress isn't destroying your cells anymore. You might be about to discover that wealth is actually health, that having money removes obstacles to self care you didn't even recognize as obstacles, and the physical transformation. That results isn't vanity. It's what happens when your body finally gets resources it needs to thrive instead of just survive. What's particularly wild about what I'm witnessing is specific catalyst that's going to trigger both transformations simultaneously. You're probably going to experience single event or opportunity that initiates cascade business success, investment return, career leap, inheritance, strategic partnership, something that injects significant capital while simultaneously requiring you to step into more visible, more polished version of yourself. You might be about to get opportunity that demands you show up bigger, that won't let you hide in frumpy, comfortable clothes and self deprecating energy, that requires you to claim your authority and attractiveness because the role itself won't work if you're playing small. And that external requirement is going to force evolution. You wouldn't have chosen voluntarily, but that transforms you completely. Um, you're probably going to discover that hotness and wealth create their own momentum. You might be experiencing how being attractive opens doors professionally, people giving you opportunities because they want to be around you, business deals happening because people like you, raises coming because you've got presence that commands respect. Well, simultaneously, wealth makes you more attractive because you can afford to present yourself well and you've got security that's inherently appealing. You could be entering virtuous cycle where each element reinforces the other until you're operating at level you currently can't even imagine because you're still stuck in scarcity around both money and desirability. What's threading through the transformation architecture is you're going to have to develop new skills for managing attention. You're probably going to need to learn how to filter opportunities, how to say no to people who suddenly want your time, how to distinguish between authentic connections and people who are attracted to your success rather than to you. And navigating that complexity is going to be disorienting at first. You might experience a period where you don't trust anyone's motives, wondering if people like you or for what you represent, if romantic interest is genuine or opportunistic, if business partnerships are collaborative or exploitative, and developing discernment about people's intentions when you're hot and rich is skill you're going to have to build through experience. This reflection invites you to consider how you'll maintain sense of self when external validation becomes overwhelming, and whether you're going to let other people's perception of you define you, or whether you can stay grounded in knowing who you are regardless of how attractive or wealthy you become. You're probably going to experience wardrobe transformation that reflects your evolution. You might be about to discover joy of clothes that actually fit properly, that are made from quality materials, that make you feel powerful rather than invisible, is less than hash zero. 5 hash is greater than. And learning to dress like wealthy, attractive person is going to require you to develop taste and confidence you don't currently have. You could be working with stylists, shopping at different stores, investing in pieces that cost more than your current monthly clothing budget. And that shift in how you present yourself physically is going to change how you're perceived so dramatically that you'll understand that appearance absolutely matters, even though that's uncomfortable truth. What's also combusting is your social circle is going to completely transform. You're probably going to experience current friendships struggling to survive your evolution. Some people celebrating your success, while others reveal their resentment. Some relationships deepening, while others expose themselves as transactional. And simultaneously, you're going to attract entirely new category of people. You might be entering social circles you couldn't access before, meeting people who operate at level you're rising to, forming connections with others who are hot and rich and understand the specific challenges and opportunities that come with that combination. And that network effect is going to accelerate your success exponentially because you're finally playing in right arena with right teammates. The attractiveness amplification patterns suggest you're going to discover features you thought were flaws becoming assets. You're probably going to experience yourself being appreciated for exact characteristics you've been insecure about: your intensity, your ambition, your unconventional looks. Your specific body type is less than hash zero. 5 hash is greater than, because confidence transforms everything. You might be about to learn that when you own yourself completely, when you stop apologizing for taking up space, when you carry yourself like you know you're valuable, people respond to that certainty by finding you attractive, regardless of whether you match conventional beauty standards. And that liberation from needing to look certain way in order to be desirable is going to make you exponentially hotter because you'll finally be authentic instead of performed. What's significant is you're going to have to actively manage your energy to avoid burnout from opportunities. You're probably going to experience period where you're saying yes to everything, every invitation, every business possibility, every romantic option, trying to make up for years of scarcity by consuming all available abundance. You might burn yourself out before you learn that having options means you get to be selective, that saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones is skill of wealthy attractive people, and developing that discernment is going to require you to trust that more good things will keep coming rather than treating every opportunity like your last chance. This reflection invites you to consider whether you're going to use your hotness and wealth to finally rest and enjoy your life, or whether you're going to create new version of hustling where you're just as exhausted but with better clothes and bigger bank account, and which of those futures actually appeals to you. um, you're going to discover that being hot and rich doesn't solve emotional problems you thought it would. You might be experiencing that classic realization that external success doesn't automatically create internal peace, that you can be gorgeous and wealthy and still anxious, still lonely, still dealing with same core wounds. You could be learning that transformation you're experiencing is opportunity to do deeper work, not excuse to avoid it, and recognizing that money and attractiveness are tools that can support your healing or distract from it, depending on how consciously you engage with your new reality. What I'm witnessing in the wealth beauty convergence is you're specifically going to become hot and rich in ways that align with your authentic self. You're probably not going to transform into generic Instagram influencer or conventional wealthy person. You're going to become distinctively attractive version of exactly who you are, and wealthy in ways that reflect your specific values and skills. You might be developing personal style that's uniquely yours, building wealth through methods that actually interest you rather than through grinding at things you hate. And that authenticity is what's going to make your success sustainable rather than just an impressive facade that exhausts you to maintain. The dual transformation timelines suggest this is happening faster than you think. You're probably assuming that becoming hot and rich is 5-year plan. But what I'm seeing is 12 to 18 months of rapid evolution where you're going to be almost unrecognizable. You might be experiencing acceleration you're not prepared for, where opportunities compound so quickly you can barely keep up, where physical changes happen faster than your self image can adjust, where you keep introducing yourself with an old story about who you are, even though that person doesn't exist anymore. What's also emerging is you're going to become inspiration to people who are where you used to be. You're probably going to experience people asking how you did it, wanting to know your secrets, trying to replicate your path, and deciding how generous to be with your knowledge versus how protective to be of your strategies is going to require you to find balance. You might become mentor, influencer, example, and wielding that responsibility wisely means remembering where you came from while not letting other people's struggles keep you from fully inhabiting your success. This reflection invites you to consider what responsibility you'll have to give back or pay forward once you're hot and rich, and whether you're someone who's going to pull the ladder up behind you or extend it to others, because that choice will define not just your success, but your character. So, as you move toward becoming hottest and richest version of yourself, start preparing internally for external transformation. You're probably still operating from old programming about your limitations, still seeing yourself as a person who struggles financially and isn't that attractive, but that identity is dying. New you is emerging. And the more you can release attachment to old story, the easier the transition will be. Trust that you're about to be shocked by your own glow up. You're probably unable to imagine yourself as genuinely hot and rich because that's so far from current reality. But 6 months from now, when you catch your reflection and barely recognize yourself, when you check your account balance and have to look twice at the numbers, you're going to understand that transformation was real. This is happening, whether you believe it or not, whether you're ready or not. You have no idea how good you're about to look and how much money you're about to have. That's accurate. You literally cannot conceive it from where you're standing. And that's fine. You don't need to understand it in advance. You just need to show up and let it happen. Let yourself be transformed. Let yourself receive the upgrades. Let yourself become the person you're meant to be instead of the person scarcity forced you to become. The hottest, richest version of you is coming. You're about to meet them. Get ready, because once you level up this dramatically, there's no going back to who you were, and you won't want to. That person was beautiful and they did their best, but this new version, this is who you were always meant to be. Welcome to your real life. It's about to begin.